So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. And ironically, a lot of the feedback, some of the feedback I've been getting of some of the demos of PlayStation Move at Game Developer Conference are saying, for all its improved accuracy, some of the controls and some of the games are really just basic waggle-based games, where the shaking the controller is basically a sub-in for a button press. So, I mean, it's more of the same. It's the more it changes, the more it stays the same, kind of. Because I certainly would not want to invest that much to be playing waggle-based games like the Wii already has without the Motion Plus. I don't have Motion Plus, by the way. I'm probably going to get it with Red Steel 2, which my dad was probably going to buy a Wii Motion Plus for Red Steel 2, or for the new Zelda. Those are probably going to be what gets me to upgrade to Motion Plus for the Wii. Now, in addition to all that, yeah, like I said before, it's hard to get people to change from one controller to another so far into the system's lifespan and for it to be accepted as a standard controller. The exception to that is DualShock on the PlayStation 1. That came out like 3 or 4 years into the PlayStation 1's lifespan, and when it comes to 3D, like the Crash Bandicoot style, it was 3D, but it was very linear. A lot of those early 3D games. Mario 64, when it went to you had the analog control, you could move your character in 3D, and the whole camera system was 3D. At that point, it was clear that 3D gaming, you need analog control. And also Nintendo introduced the Rumble with the Rumble Pack with Star Fox 64. And so once again, Sony's adopting innovations that Nintendo introduced or made standard in their system into their own controller and improving it a bit, because with the DualShock you didn't need a battery pack. You didn't need an extra pack with its own batteries for the Rumble, and you had 2 dual analog sticks, which were better and more meatier than the ones on the N64. And that became the standard controller. A lot of people today don't even remember the original PlayStation controller, which was just the Super NES pad with the handles added to it for the better grip, along with the 2 extra shoulder keypads. So I wonder if does Sony want this to be sort of progress into being the new PlayStation controller, or is it just going to be an add-on like the iToy? Either way, and this goes for Natal too, Nintendo has millions and millions of units of the Wii Remote and Wii Motion Plus already out there. It's iconic. It's almost as iconic as the iPod, like the white earphones on the iPod. When you see someone with shaking the controller and holding the controller in one hand, that's Nintendo and that's Wii. I think with Natal, the fact that it's totally hands-free, it's gonna have a problem being iconic. And with the PlayStation, the DualShock type controller, the DualShock 2, and the 6-axis, that controller is iconic in itself and well associated with the PlayStation brand. So it's going to be interesting to see how they try to change that or adapt their new. It seems like they're just going to try to emulate Nintendo in every way they can, except for the fact that their motion control isn't the de facto controller. So, yeah, you have Nintendo. Either way, there's no way in my mind that this is going to be what crushes Nintendo, like the bomb that destroys the Wii. That's not going to happen. That's absolutely not going to happen with either the Natal or the PlayStation Move. They've got their audience cut out for them, and they've got a loyal hardcore and a loyal casual fan base. One thing that's going to irk me is a lot of the people who have been since 2005 when they first revealed the Wii Remote and the Nunchuck have been talking about how motion control is gimmicky and it's nothing but Wii Sports and really simple. It's not for nothing but mini games and it's not for serious games, and how it sucks, and how the motion control for the controls in Metroid Prime 3 suck and dual analog sticks is where it's at. A lot of those people those Sony zealots are now probably going to be all over, the motion control is the way of the future, and it's SOCOM or Killzone or whatever with what is it, PlayStation Move is so awesome and it kicks all this ass. And me and a bunch of other people who have been playing games like this since 2006 or 7, if you want to count Metroid Prime 3. My first-person shooter on the Wii was Metroid Prime 3, and Red Steel was just a big freaking disappointment. I'm surprised they even kept the name Red Steel 2 for this game, because the name Red Steel is just associated with so much disappointment with me because of all the potential that was missed, and that was a lot due to the fact of how limited the motion, the shaking, the motion sensing on the Wii Remote was. But that's going to be remedied greatly by Motion Plus, and it already has been. But, you know, we told you motion control is the future back in 2005, and you didn't want to listen to us. And that's, I'm just talking about the zealots who were bitching about motion control and Nintendo and how gimmicky it is. I'm not like tooting my horn or saying Nintendo's, you know, better than everyone else or something, because really it took, you know, that's just how it gets started. It takes someone to make a bold statement like the Wii Remote, and a risky statement, and once that's successful, you're going to start seeing improvements and enhancements. So that's pretty much all I have to say about that. I'm probably never going to own a PS3 unless my dad decides to get one. I do have an Xbox 360, by the way. I never mentioned that, but I do have one. I don't have Xbox Live yet, but I'd like to get it soon. And Natal both systems look like, now that the PlayStation Move is seeming to try to copy the Wii Remote, Natal looks a lot more interesting than the PlayStation Move. But I might end up getting Natal sooner or later. But I think Natal's going to be successful, but I don't think it's going to be something that is going to endanger Nintendo's market share or their perception as the motion control system, because they've got a 5-year head start on everyone else over that, and so PlayStation Move or Natal's not really going to change that. So that sums up my opinions on the future motion control in this generation, and thank you very much for watching.